welcome to Guys Global Adventures and Getaways. Welcome to episode 3, Packing Like a Pro, Essentials for Any Trips, including the cruise. All right, so we have a special guest today. Her name is Stephanie Cobble. She is the owner of Wander the World with Wheeler. All right, she's going to provide us today with a few general packing tips, strategies for kids to pack great for them, a few extra tips, and must-have travel gadgets on when you're going to plan for your trip. So this is a very important part because I would say about 40% of your trip is the planning beforehand and then the actual trip and then the relaxation. All right. So welcome, Stephanie. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good, good, good. So uh, introduce yourself, introduce your company. Tell us a little bit about
Uh-huh.
yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Stephanie, and I have been an independent travel agent for the last 5 years. My company is called Wander the World with Wheeler, and I am a mother of three. And so when I was asked to participate in this topic, I thought this is my jam because when I travel, I'm bringing three kids and a spouse with me, which is kind of my fourth kid. So I consider myself an amateur expert in packing, and I'm here to tell you everything I know.
Great, great, great. Well, it's great to have you on episode 3. So this is going to be along a long line of different episodes. We're going to have a bunch of new guest speakers, uh, experts really in their field. And this is designed to help you travel better, uh, feel more comfortable. And, there's a lot of people that are going first time, a lot of people that just need some extra tips out there. And we're here to help them out. Great. So, uh, what would you say are some top tips for creating a versatile packing list?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a list maker. And so I always encourage people to make a list before they start packing. And in fact, I actually encourage you to keep that list handy so when you come home, you remember what you packed so you don't leave any chargers or car keys or travel documents behind. So I use my phone to keep my lists, and I have different lists for different types of travel. So I like beach trips, I like cruises, I like hiking, I like skiing. So I literally have a different packing list for all the different types of trips I make. And I start by writing things down as I'm planning my trips. So I'll look for what the weather is going to be at my destination. I'm going to look if there's going to be a dress code at my destination. Do I have to have different attire for day or night? And maybe at the around the time I plan my trip, I start planning my packing list. It's dynamic. It's always being edited up until the day I grab my suitcase. And if you don't know what to pack, you can also look online. I use ChatGPT sometimes, and just kind of think of your list as something that you can have in your pocket at any time, add to it, subtract from it, and then when you're done, you can double check to make sure you have everything. And when you're coming home, again, make sure you have everything when so you don't leave anything behind.
That's actually a good idea. Never thought about the having the list with you all your trip because I know pretty frequently, at least myself with my kids, um, we're always checking the hotel, checking it twice, or checking the cruise to make sure we didn't leave anything. And honestly, there's always 1 to 2 things that we did leave. So having a list is very informative to have a kind of a checklist of what you can bring back. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Um, Now, in terms of packing, oops,
And I'm feeling good.
we're back. All right. In terms of packing, Um, do you use any like rolling or folding packing cubes? What kind of stuff do you recommend?
Yeah, that's I kind of use a combination of all the above. So, for example, when you roll your clothes, you're trying to fold them in a way where they stay less wrinkled. So you roll them up really tight, so it helps put more things in your suitcase, and also helps it from wrinkling. And it's free. You don't need to buy any equipment when you roll your clothes. But you can also get packing cubes, which I like because it's organizing all my stuff. So sometimes I'll pack like one outfit per cube, and it's just great because when I come back, I can like put the dirty clothes in the same cube, and then if I'm going from destination to destination, I can just grab out another packing cube for the day, and when I'm done with the clothes, put it back and go into the next packing cube. Or if you can have it where you have all the same types of items, like your shirts in one cube, your shorts in another cube. And it also makes it easy to unpack because you can just take out your cubes and throw it into the drawers at the hotel that you're staying. And so you can roll your clothes and then put them in your packing cube, and you're sort of like organizing and making more space for your stuff. I used to use vacuum packs, and that's nice. There's a couple ways you can do that. One is to like I used to go to the dollar store and just get Ziplocs, and you can roll your clothes inside the Ziploc and seal it off so you're basically going to flatten things. And that's actually the way to get the most stuff into your suitcase, is using a vacuum system. You may have seen those TikToks where they have little packing cubes with little pumps, and that's great too. Just remember to take the pump with you, because obviously they show them with vacuum cleaners at home, but you don't have a vacuum cleaner on the cruise or in the hotel room. So if you're going to do the vacuum packing, make sure you either get the kind that you can roll to seal or to have a little pump to take out the air for you. But as I said, I kind of use a combination of all three when I'm packing, because I got three kids. We have a lot to take.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because just looking at a TikTok the other day, or it was something on John Hill, which is the brand ambassador for Carnival, and uh, I guess a client was upset on the cruise that she didn't that the steward didn't let her borrow his vacuum to so she could vacuum her her so she could vacuum pack her stuff. And the conclusion was, that's taking time out from the other people. They have to clean up the rooms and stuff quickly. So her letting them vacuum their other stuff, that's taking time out for them cleaning up somebody else's room. So that's definitely a great idea. Um, Now, what are your thoughts on choosing the right luggage, for different trip lengths, like a 5 day, 7 day, 3 day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the carry-on. I say that because for many years I had a son traveling for sports, and we were traveling almost every weekend on airplanes. And I can't tell you how many times our luggage got delayed or even left at home. And so we transitioned to packing with using a carry-on. That's my preferred method of traveling. So the advantage of a carry-on is, one, it's great for shorter trips. Like kind of forces you to be mindful of what you're packing. You also save time not having to go to baggage claim when you get to your destination. So you can start your trip another 30 minutes faster if you're not having to walk to luggage and wait for the baggage claim to deliver your luggage. You also save money because a lot of airlines don't charge a fee for carry-on, but they do for checked bags. So you might be saving some money when you're traveling, especially with a family of five. $30 times five is a lot of money. So pack it up and put in the carry-on. So it's best for shorter trips. Now, you can also take check bags, and the advantage of that, of course, is you can pack more items. And so if you're going somewhere where you can have a lot of different clothing because you have different temperatures, or maybe there's an event like a wedding, you might have to have a large suitcase because of the variety of things you need to bring. And that's totally fine. Just remember there might be an extra fee, and you got to be mindful of the weight because it might have an overage if you pack too much. So a thing I consider is maybe getting with little scales that you can like kind of pack quickly. So make sure your suitcases aren't too heavy. Now, hopefully, if you went under 50 pounds, you're coming back under 50 pounds. But if you're like me, you do a little shopping on vacation, just make sure when you come back that your suitcase isn't over the weight it was when it was coming. And if you're worried about that, take a weight with you or a scale to weigh your suitcase on the way home. But again, they both have advantages. But I have gone internationally with our family of 5 for weeks at a time, and we just bring something to do laundry with, or just have laundry done for us, or just literally take our suitcases to the closest laundromat and do our laundry on vacation. Because for me, I would rather save the money, not taking the check bag, and just know to do laundry once or twice on my longer trips. And it's worked out better for us, I think, especially with 5 suitcases, 5 people. That's 5 opportunities for delays and charges.
No, that's actually great that you said that. Recently, my wife and I got a bag that's like a so you've seen it on TikTok. It's like a duffel bag kind of garment bag. So we put the suit in first, and then we put all the other clothes in on top. So that's what we've been taking for definitely carrying on, because there's definitely a history of where uh, people have lost their bags, or they left it somewhere, forgot that it was checked, or what happens when you end up you're taking a connecting flight, you get there first, and their luggage isn't there. So there's
One
actually
time my luggage went to Hawaii. I'm like, I want to go to Hawaii. How come my luggage got to go to Hawaii? I just came back from Maryland, and somehow my flight put my luggage on the flight to Hawaii. Next time, take the luggage to Oklahoma and put me on the trip to Hawaii.
right. No, yeah, that's for sure. So definitely, if you have your stuff with you, that's definitely a big help. Now, in terms of like travel gadgets and accessories, what kind of things do you recommend to bring?
Okay, so full disclosure, I'm a little bit on the anxiety, obsessive, compulsive side of things. So a lot of things I'm going to suggest, don't feel like you're obligated to pack, but I'm always like MacGyver, and I'm packing for every emergency possible. So when I'm packing, I make sure I have a backpack that I wear, and I buy a product that's theft proof. So if you want to go to that level, you can buy a carry-on backpack that has the ability to lock, and it's slash proof. But inside that backpack, I pack everything I'm going to need for the first 48 hours of my trip. And then of course, I always go down the list of highest priority. So what do you need when you travel? Well, the first and foremost, most important thing you have when you travel is your wallet with your credit cards and your cash and your real ID. Remember, we need to have the real ID for traveling domestically now. So make sure, if you haven't done it already, update your driver's license. If you're traveling internationally, make sure you have that passport. So for me, if I have my passport, my real ID, my credit card, my cash, and my phone, all things are possible. So I always make sure before I leave the house, I have those things in my backpack. Inside that, the next thing I'm going to recommend is having something for entertainment, right? We're going to be stuck on airplanes. There's going to be like layovers. So make sure you have something to entertain yourself with. I use an iPad. People have Kindles. Doesn't have to be electronic. It could be like your favorite book. Make sure you pack those chargers. Make sure you pack those portable chargers, because delays happen and you might need to reboot your Kindle or your phone. If you're traveling international, get that international adapter so you can plug your phones into any outlet you are internationally. I got the one off of Amazon that just goes to all the countries, so I don't have to think about where I'm going. Just grab it when I pack it. In fact, I even have a pouch where I keep all my charging cables, portable chargers, and universal charger in a pouch. I just keep in my backpack all the time. I literally have a travel backpack always on the go. So I don't have to think about when I travel. I just come home, put it away, and then it's ready to go for my next trip. Other things you might not think about that might be important is make sure you have earphones or earbuds so you can listen to your tablet or watch your movies. I always travel with a water bottle because you get really thirsty on airplanes. I snacks. I'm a mom of 3. Someone's always hungry. So basically, you make sure you just have those essential things like your identification, your wallet, your destination information, so you know where you're going. If you have your wallet, your credit card, and your identification, you can go anywhere at any time. I also recommend maybe thinking about the weather, like having an umbrella. Maybe I'm of a certain age, so I always have to travel with a fan to cool me off. Something to carry wet or dirty items in is great, especially if you have kids who spill or dirty diapers. Maybe have a waterproof package to put things into when you're traveling. And again, if you really want to go to the obsessive side of things, I also have a carabiner I carry in my backpack because you never know what you need to hook on something, whether it's like your lunch or a hat or a jacket. If you travel by yourself or you're maybe in areas that you might not feel comfortable in, I got one of those little locks you could put in the door to give you extra protection for locking at a hotel or a rental place. If you're traveling international, make sure you've got an app or a system where you can translate the language. And again, if you they're having some stories about some people having carbon monoxide poisoning. So they now have these little tiny CO2 monitors that you can put in your backpack or the size of your wallet. So again, essential gears is really relative to where you're going, how long you're going to be for. But I always remember if I have my wallet, if I have my ID, if I have my phone, I'm fine. If I lose my luggage, I can go shopping. If my toiletry bag doesn't make it, I can go shopping. If I show up and I don't know where I'm at, I have my phone and I can make a phone call.
No, that definitely makes sense. What we do is we have a little folder, or I have a little folder rather, where I kind of put my stuff in. And, unfortunately, full disclosure, I'm not the most organized person, but when it comes to trips, I am pretty organized. So I have a little folder where I keep all the passports and all the important documents. And so, just give everything to me so I can put it in that one folder so we don't lose it. We have little like fanny packs that we started using on our trip to Oaxaca, which is actually one of our upcoming episodes. And so we, so it's kind of just like a personal little fanny pack. We got chargers in there, water bottles, phones, and everybody has their own. So it's a kind of, you know, get your own little responsibility, and then it has a little charging thing that comes out of it. So that's something cool. You put passports in there. So that it was definitely convenient. Exactly what you said with the uh, charger, the European charger, that's important because we went out to Italy and your plug from the US, if you're in the US, it's not gonna work. So definitely get one of
Exactly.
those from Amazon, plug it in, and you'll be good to go. Um, some of the things that we use is you may see my glasses here, which are the Ray-Ban Metas. So these are great for taking pictures, video, and now in certain places, um, although I haven't tried it yet, but in certain places you'll be able to translate the language. So if you're speaking to me in Spanish, uh, it'll come in real time into my glasses in English. So that's a
That's amazing.
yeah, that's a nice little tool. Um, I tried it on like novellas and stuff right now, so it does work. But so that is something actually we offer too, Ray-Bans. So we'll put a link in the comments for that. Um, Now, what type of things do you recommend for, I would say, like, I know cruising, but different dress codes and shore excursions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I love cruising. I just came back from a cruise with a Dilla Traveler recently, and it was so much fun. What you do differently for cruising, I would suggest, is making sure that when you are getting onto the boat, that you have a day bag ready to go. It could be a purse or a backpack, or it could actually be a roll-on carry-on. But the idea is when you first get on a cruise, you're not able to go to your room immediately, and your luggage isn't necessarily available right away. So if you think, okay, well, I'm on the cruise, I want to start enjoying the boat, you might want to go to the pool. You might want to go lounge in a chair, take a walk around the whole facility and see what's on the available for you to do for entertainment. So I always recommend carrying at least one bag that has maybe your bathing suit, your hat, sunglasses, maybe a change of clothes. Maybe you just had a long drive or a long flight. And you want to take off your sweater and put on a t-shirt. Definitely have your medications with you, especially something for seasickness in case you're vulnerable. Your phone, your charger, your water bottle. You want to have think of like layering when you're packing your bigger suitcase. Make sure you think of layers and versatility. So when I pack for a cruise, I tend to have like a theme, whether it's like a collar theme, so I can like have my tops match my bottoms and vice versa. It doesn't have to be like all one color, but you just want to make sure that if I have a shirt to wear, I can wear maybe one or two different types of clothes, so I can have something for daytime and nighttime. Sometimes cruise lines have a dress code. Some are a little bit more formal at nighttime, so you might have to consider a more formal outfit for nighttime. So dresses and suits and jackets and stuff like that. And that's always kind of fun. My favorite thing to do, and IntelliTravel was doing this, is having a theme night every day. And I wish I packed better for the theme nights because the theme nights were fun. So if your cruise line has theme nights, participate, even if it's something subtle. Like they had a pink night, you should have seen the men in these pink suits or pink shirts or pink ties. It was fabulous. So just remember, you don't have to necessarily go head to toe in whatever the theme is. It could just be like something very subtle, but go ahead, participate. We're on a cruise, we're on vacation. Have fun, pack a little something for those theme nights. You won't regret it. So the trick is, again, with cruising, just remember, you want something for when you first get on the boat. You want to pay attention to the weather. You want to pay attention to the dress codes, and certainly pay attention to those theme nights.
So that's amazing advice. Also some disclosure, I do also some work at a suit store. So when people come in for cruises and they need different themes, or I also saw regular clothes too. And like, hey, this Hawaiian shirt is something that's fun to go with. You have like at least 2 or 3 formal nights. Most cruise lines, in my experience, have um, a sort of nice little guide for Carnival, which I like, where it talked about the nights and how many theme nights they have. So it'll say, okay, on a 3-day cruise, we usually have all white party, a sail away party, and 2 formal nights. So those type of things, which is stuff that we post on our page, as travel agents, will definitely give you an idea of, okay, I need at least like 2 suits, or even sometimes people come in and they say, hey, I'm going on a cruise. So like, how many nights is your cruise? They're like, oh, it's about like 7 nights. All right, so 7 nights, that gives you at least 2 formal nights and 1 or 2, parties or so. And it's fun to dress up. Everybody dresses up. They have a great time. It's really about the memories. Uh, and you want to pack nicely and smart, so you're not there like missing out. So I
Exactly.
always,
Participate, have fun.
yeah, you want to have fun, definitely. And what happened to me one time was I went up to Vegas and I had my whole like suit garment bag, and I left my shirt. So now I need to go buy a shirt, and it was tight. So it was a whole mess. So definitely pack everything later. All right, everything is there. So, well, that's about it. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Um,
Yes.
I appreciate you coming on, giving your expertise on packing. All right, something to look at for our next episode. So that's funny that you were talking about cruising. Our next episode is about cruising essentials, choosing your ship, and planning your itinerary. And we should have a special guest on, likely maybe another travel agent or so, discussing that. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely comment below in the comments, and we'll see you next week. We usually feature on Mondays, probably around 1 o'clock ish or so, and we'll have a next adventure. So thank
Thank
you,
you for having me.
Stephanie.
It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure to work with you and talk to you, and good luck with your podcast.
All right, thank you. Take care.
And I'm feeling